your check engine light has been on for 3 weeks. You've been ignoring it. Then one day, it just won't start. You're already late for work, you're stressed about money, and suddenly you find you're at a dealership signing papers for several $100s a month because the dealer says to you, you don't want to keep throwing money at that old thing, do you? Here's the truth that they simply won't tell you. Sometimes that expensive repair is the cheapest path going forward. The problem is you don't always know what path to take. Today, we're going to actually do something a little bit different. We're going to look at 2 different scenarios of real Canadians, similar situations, similar repair bills, and show why in one scenario you should clearly fix the repair and continue to use the car, and in the other scenario, you should walk away immediately. And before you think, I'll just buy another used car, have you seen the prices of used cars in Canada?
In a study released by Clutch, an online used car retailer, the average price of a used vehicle in Canada jumped to over $34,000 in October, more than 6% compared to the same time last year.
The math will really shock you. I think the most frustrating thing in Canada is that the cost of cars has more than doubled from $30,000 in 2015 to over $63,000 in 2026. We were told when COVID happened that, it's the cost of chips and CPUs and there's a shortage. That's why the increase. However, years later, all of these supply chain issues and logistics should have been sorted out, yet costs haven't come down at all. Over just 5 years, a person's average monthly cost to pay for a car would be $1,123. What a mortgage would have cost 20, 30 years ago. That would have been your mortgage payment. Car loans are even being stretched to 84 months or 7 years, and at 7%, it might sound a little bit more affordable with a monthly payment of $868. However, you end up paying over $16,000 more in interest. Buying a used car is a slightly better option, but even that, over 60 months, if you finance it, you're looking at a monthly payment of around $600. Yes, as I'm sure you're aware, used cars have gone up too. And if you finance it, say, the average cost is $33,500 because not many people now can afford a new car, so subsequently, used cars have gone up in price too. Some sources say, well, the parts aren't cheaper, they've just gone up in value because of advancements in technology. You lose 10 to 20% simply by driving that car off the lot. 20 to 30% drop in value or depreciation in the first year alone, and 10 to 15% every year after that, with the average repair and maintenance bill being around $1,200 to $1,500 per year. So make the right choice on whether to buy a new, used, or simply repair your car, as it's a big decision. Now let's look at some scenarios. Meet Sarah. She's staring at a $3,600 bill for repair and maintenance on her 2015 Corolla, and her coworker has told her she's an idiot for simply not going out and getting a new car. Sarah's about to make a decision that will save her
$12,000.
Let that sink in, or cost her everything. Now let's do the math that everyone else is simply too lazy to show you. Sarah is an admin professional that lives in Ontario and has a 2015 Corolla with 185,000 kilometers on it. It's been paid off for 3 years, but last week her mechanic gave her the bad news that the air compressor is dying, that the brakes need work, and the tires are questionable. Total bill, $3,600. Sarah's panicking. $3,600? I can't afford that. And her coworker's saying, don't worry about it. Stop wasting your money on that old car. Simply go out and get a new car. Dave, a 41-year-old tradesman that lives in British Columbia, drives a 2016 Ford F-150 with a 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, and it has 220,000 kilometers on it. It is also completely paid off. But the transmission is slipping, and he's hearing an odd noise from the turbos, and his mechanic just quoted him a price of $8,200 to fix the transmission and for turbo work. Dave's thinking, well, for $8,000, I should simply just get a new truck, right? Here's where things get interesting. Both of them are about to make completely different decisions, but only one of them is right. Let's start with Sarah. Her situation is actually simpler than it looks. That $3,600 for Sarah seems massive. However, this is what you don't see. We don't evaluate a repair based on the total cost. We evaluate it based on the cost per month of continued ownership. If Sarah's 2015 Corolla is otherwise solid, then the repair of $3,600 should buy her about 24 more months of reliable transportation. Let me show you the math. Sarah's repair option: one-time repair costs, $3,600, monthly breakdown over 24 months, $150 per month, monthly insurance, liability only, her car's value is too low for collision, $110 per month. Monthly fuel, she drives 15,000 kilometers per year, $140 a month. Expected maintenance over the next 2 years, $80 per month on average for oil changes and other minor items. Total monthly cost to keep the Corolla, $480 a month. Now let's look at if Sarah buys new. If Sarah buys a new 2026 Corolla, the price would be around $28,000 for a base model after taxes, down payment $3,600, the money she would have spent on repairs, loan amount $24,400 at 6.99% over 7 years, monthly payment $389 a month, monthly insurance, full coverage required, $195 a month, monthly fuel, better efficiency, $125 a month, maintenance, under warranty so minimal, $30 a month. Total monthly cost for the new Corolla, $739 a month. The difference, $259 a month. Over 24 months, Sarah would have spent an extra $6,216. But wait, there's something else even bigger that we haven't talked about. Depreciation. In the first 2 years, Sarah's brand new Corolla would lose about $6,500 in value. Sarah's 2015 Corolla, it would lose around $800 in value. So Sarah's real cost comparison over 24 months, repair path total cost, $11,520 plus $800 depreciation, equaling $12,320. New car path total cost, $17,736 plus $6,500 depreciation, equals $24,236. Sarah would spend an extra $11,916 over 2 years by buying new. That's the actual cost of the repair sitting in the driveway, but instead, Sarah's putting it towards interest payments and a depreciating asset. A little bit of backstory on me. I'm a 20-year corporate accountant and analyst. I live in Western Canada. I have a set of troublemaking twins. Both have hearing aids in both ears, but I love them to death. They're great. And I started this channel because I have a wealth of knowledge that I want to share with my audience and give something back and just grow a community. So if all of this sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing to my channel. For Sarah, the repair is a no-brainer. Fix the 2015 Corolla. Okay, so Sarah should fix her car. That was easy. However, this is where most finance videos stop and they get absolutely
destroyed.
What if Sarah's situation was slightly different? That the repair bill was the same, but the car was different. Let's look at Dave's situation. Now let's look at Dave, because this is where people get burnt. Dave's repair will cost about $8,200 and his truck's value is about $14,000. That's a 58.5 repair to value ratio. That should make you pause. But here's what really matters. It's not just the transmission. Dave's 2016 F-150 with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine is around the mileage where these engines start encountering even more problems every year. Those turbos making noise, that's often the beginning, not the end. EcoBoost, timing chains, transmission problems, all of this starts to cluster around 200 to 250,000 kilometers for these trucks. Let me be blunt. This is where those trucks or cars start to enter the critical, expensive failure zone. The first repair is often not the last one. So if Dave pays the $8,200, well, chances are in the next 16 to 18 months, he'll encounter an additional $4,000 to $6,000 in additional repairs. That's what people see with these high mileage turbocharged trucks. So what are Dave's options? So Dave is looking at an $8,200 repair bill. That's brutal. But watch this. So if Dave fixes the truck, he saves an additional $500 from buying new. So no problem, right? He should fix the truck. And that's where 90% of people make the mistake and end up going broke. Option 1, repair the F-150. Immediate cost, $8,200. Expected additional repairs over next 24 months, $4,500, a conservative estimate. Total repair spend, $12,700 over 2 years, or $529 a month. Monthly insurance, $145 a month. Monthly fuel, he drives 25,000 kilometers per year for work, $380 a month. Total monthly cost, $1,054 a month, with significant uncertainty about future repairs. Option 2, buy a new 2026 F-150. And here's where people trap themselves. Dave's thinking, well, I'm spending $1,000 a month anyway. Vehicle price, $68,000, XLT, crew cab, after taxes, not even a fancy trim. Trade-in value of his 2016, $8,000. Dealers will lowball a truck needing $8,000 in work. Loan amount, $60,000 at 6.99% over 7 years. Monthly payment, $958 a month. Monthly insurance, full coverage, $245 a month. Monthly fuel, better efficiency, $320 a month. Maintenance, covered under warranty, but still $40 a month. Total monthly costs, $1,563 a month. Plus, the new truck will lose $12,000 to $15,000 in value in its first 2 years. Over 24 months, the repair path is $25,296, plus ongoing certainty. New truck path, $37,512, plus $13,500 in depreciation, equals $51,012. So buying new would cost Dave an extra $25,716 over 2 years, but he'd have certainty and a warranty. For Dave, the repair seems like the cheapest choice, $1,054 for going with the repair versus $1,563 a month for buying new. But here's the critical point, that Dave's truck, his 2016 F-150, is experiencing or entering, like I said, that expensive failure zone where everything's going to start to go. The repair to the transmission and the turbos is just the first domino in a long falling line of dominoes. Dave should replace his truck, no question, but not with a $68,000 brand new 2026 F-150. His smartest move is finding a used 2018-2019 F-150 with naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V8 engine for $32,000 to $38,000, which gives him proven reliability without the crushing depreciation of buying new. Or better yet, downsizing to a more reliable mid-sized truck like a Toyota Tacoma if he doesn't truly need the F-150 capabilities every single day. Hey, do me a favor, like this video, or even better yet, hype it, as I put a lot of extensive research into each and every video that I make. Much appreciated. Okay, Aaron, so that's what you're saying. Always buy used, right? And try to get a 2-3-year-old car and let someone else eat the depreciation. That's what everybody says. That's what I thought too. However, have you seen the prices of cars, even used cars in Canada right now? Watch this and consider this scenario. Option 4, the option nobody talks about and why it might not always work. Sarah's used car option, 2020 Corolla, 80,000 kilometers, purchase price $21,500. Yes, really, that's the current Canadian market. Down payment, $3,600. Loan amount, $17,900 at 8.99% over 5 years, Used car rates are higher. Monthly payment, $374 a month. Insurance, $175 a month. Fuel, $130 a month. Maintenance, $50 a month. Total, $729 a month. Barely cheaper than new, and she's still taking on debt. Dave's used option, 2020 F-150, 95,000 kilometers, purchase price $48,000. Used truck prices are insane right now. Trade-in, $8,000. Loan amount, $40,000 at 9.49% over 6 years. Monthly payment, $738 a month. Insurance, $220 a month. Fuel, $340 a month. Maintenance, $75 a month. Total, $1,373 a month. So here's the truth. In Canada right now, if you buy a used car, you're paying about 75 to 85% of what you would pay for if it were new, except that you're paying a higher interest payment and often no warranty. For Sarah, used makes no sense. She'd be paying about $249 more a month than if she just fixed her car. For Dave's situation or scenario, getting another used truck is the better way to go, and it's cheaper than new. However, he's still adding another $319 to his budget rather than if he just fixed his truck. Okay, so we've seen Sarah save 12 grand by fixing her car. We've seen Dave almost make a $20,000 mistake, and we've seen that the used car market is pretty much right now completely broken. But the problem is that you're sitting there thinking, okay, cool, Aaron, but what about my car, my situation? Fair question. Let's cut through all these scenarios and I'll give you a framework that you can actually use. Fix your vehicle if all of these are true. 1. The repair cost is less than 6 to 8 months of new vehicle payments. This accounts for all the time value of money and opportunity costs. 2. The mechanic says the rest of the vehicle is in good shape. Not it's okay, actually solid. Get a second opinion if you're unsure. 3. Your make model has a reliable track record at this mileage. A Honda Civic at 180,000 kilometers, likely fine. 4. You have an emergency fund that could cover one or more repairs. This is critical. You need this cushion. Walk away and replace if any of these are true. 1. You're facing multiple expensive system failures in the same year. Transmission and engine issues. That's a pattern. 2. The repair costs more than 50% of the vehicle's value and you're not confident it'll give you 2+ years. Dave's situation. 3. Your mechanic uses phrases like, "This is just the beginning," or "We'll have to see what else we find." That's a code for a money pit. 4. You've spent more than 15% of the vehicle's value in repairs in the past 12 months. You're on a death spiral. Sarah's verdict? Fix it. She meets all 4 fix criteria. That $3,600 buys her years of reliable, debt-free transportation. Dave's verdict? Replace. But here's the critical part. Not with a new truck. Dave needs to either find a used 2018-2019 F-150 with the naturally aspirated 5.0 liter V8, more reliable, proven engine for $32,000 to $38,000, or downsize to what he actually needs for work. If Dave doesn't truly need an F-150's capabilities daily, a used 2019 Toyota Tacoma or even a 2020 Honda Ridgeline might cut his costs by $400 to $500 a month while being far more reliable. And in case you're wondering this nice little framework that I went through, yeah, I'll give it away. It's in the description below. Just click on the link and you'll have a beautiful little framework all laid out to help you decide on what choice you should make with whatever vehicle you have and your situation is. My gift to you. Thanks for viewing and coming in. Please consider subscribing and like this video, or even better, hype it if you're getting something and value out of it. In case you're new to my channel, I'm Aaron, a 20-year corporate accountant and analyst living in Western Canada. I talk about personal finance, investing, and investment portfolios. I try to give real solid numbers, practical advice that people can actually use, and represent the voice of the middle and working class in Canada. If all of this sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider subscribing to my video, and please like this video, or even better, hype it if you're getting value out of it, as I put a lot of extensive research into each video I make. Here's what dealerships and repair shops won't tell you: that the best, most reliable vehicle and the cheapest way for you to go is whatever is sitting in your driveway that has the lowest monthly maintenance each and every month, that you can rely on it to get you to and from work and whatever you do daily, as long as you maintain it.
Buying the cheapest car you can get that has the longest lifespan.
It's simple but sage advice. Carl Brower with Icy Cars says if you want the most drive for your buck, buy a car that's reliable.
And keep it until the wheels fall off.
And then you don't have to worry about depreciation as much. Plus, you aren't having to buy a new car every few years.
And on the flip side, the most expensive vehicle you'll ever own is the one that you keep dumping money into, that seems like a bottomless pit that you're trying to save. The difference between the two: here's an honest assessment. Before you make any decision about your vehicle, consider this. 1, get a full vehicle assessment or inspection from a mechanic you trust, not a dealership. 2, research common fail points on your specific make, model, year of your car, when they usually happen. 3, run the actual numbers, not your emotions. So like I said, I've created a absolutely free downloadable spreadsheet and PDF that you can use to help you decide what is the best choice for you. The link is in the description below. It's just my thanks, I guess, for stopping by and giving me your time, which is very valuable to me. And like I said, consider subscribing to my channel, as I come out with new videos almost every week, and they're very, very thoroughly researched. And my final thought on this is, these decisions aren't about being cheap. They're about making strategically planned choices so that you're not just bleeding money endlessly, losing it towards transportation costs every month. If you're interested in more great videos on personal finance and investing, check out 2 of these great videos here.